Valentino Rossi, a MotoGP legend whose name has resonated for more than 2 decades, continues to expand his influence in the world of racing as he leads his own ambitious project, the VR46 racing team. More than merely a former world champion, Rossi has now become an architect of the future generation of riders and a central figure in the dynamics of the premier class rider market. At the beginning of 2026, amid significant personal challenges, including turbulence within his family relationships, Rossi remained firmly in the spotlight with an attention-grabbing announcement at the launch of his new team in Rome on the 14th of January. The event was not only about unveiling a new yellow and black livery for his team, which continues to use Ducati machinery, but also served as an early signal of a major strategic maneuver currently unfolding within the MotoGP paddock. The subtext of that launch went far beyond a new color scheme or the rider pairing set to compete in 2026. Fabio Di Giannantonio aboard the Desmosedici GP26 and Franco Morbidelli on the GP25. It carried a veiled message. Rossi already knows who he is targeting for the 2027 season, even if he is not yet willing to reveal the identity publicly. His statement, "I know, but I can't say it," was carefully crafted to stir Ducati and its rivals in an increasingly heated rider market, especially as MotoGP approaches a major technical regulation overhaul in 2027. Away from the glamour of the stage, the reality in Tavullia is always rich with intrigue. The VR46 racing team, based in Rossi's hometown, faces a significant challenge. Both Di Giannantonio and Morbidelli are set to see their contracts expire at the end of 2026, meaning the team must recruit 2 new riders to remain competitive. Added to this is a more strategic decision: whether VR46 will continue its technical partnership with Ducati in the new regulatory era, where all Italian manufacturers will use the same homologated engine, GP27, eliminating several of the technical advantages that have long defined Ducati's dominance on track. Yet Rossi does not speak without purpose. For some time, he has had one name firmly noted on his ideal candidate list: Pedro Acosta, the young Spanish sensation who has already displayed extraordinary talent at a very early stage of his MotoGP career. Acosta is not only one of the most talked about talents in the paddock, he is also a prime target for Ducati themselves as they plan for the future, particularly in their effort to secure a partner for Marc Marquez in 2027 and 2028. Ducati, through Gigi Dall'Igna, have identified the Murcian rider as a top priority, hoping to sign him early to reinforce a factory lineup that is already dominant. However, this situation creates a minefield for all parties involved. Should Ducati formally secure Acosta, the resulting market scenario would trigger a major domino effect. Pecco Bagnaia, currently within the factory structure, could be forced to look elsewhere, with Yamaha being linked as a potential next destination for the Italian. KTM, meanwhile, would be compelled to find new talent to replace Acosta in their factory team, while Honda would be expected to move aggressively in pursuit of Fabio Quartararo. A scenario that makes the upcoming rider market maneuvers resemble a high-risk game of chess. Despite Ducati appearing largely unfazed by Rossi's warning, they have nevertheless reiterated that the technical collaboration between VR46 and the Italian manufacturer is highly likely to continue beyond 2026. That statement has somewhat dampened speculation that the relationship between the two parties might change dramatically before the current agreement expires. Even so, Rossi and his team are deliberately keeping leverage options open in negotiations, particularly after the painful experience of losing top-tier machinery when Pramac chose to switch to Yamaha in the previous season. That opening, however, also creates greater opportunities for other talents beyond Acosta. Most notably 2 names: Fermin Aldeguer, whose contract with Ducati runs until the end of 2027, and David Alonso, who has emerged as one of the brightest future stars following an impressive start to his Moto2 career. Aldeguer, regarded as a mature rider ready to compete at the highest level, is already embedded within Ducati's long-term strategy, while Alonso, the 2024 Moto3 world champion with 2 wins and 5 podiums in his rookie Moto2 season, is seen as a high-potential long-term investment for MotoGP. With the new 2027 configuration approaching, Ducati holds a unique advantage in the rider market. They possess the most coveted machinery, the strongest technical network, and the greatest appeal for riders seeking a competitive bike. This also means that Gresini Racing, currently housing Alex Marquez under contract until at least 2026, will face a challenge in keeping him on a competitive path should Ducati undertake a major reshuffle of their factory lineup. While the long-term strategy for 2027 continues to be debated, Rossi and VR46 are not confined to spreadsheets of contracts and market projections. Rossi has also recently shifted his attention and energy towards another key pillar of his ambitious project: the development and training of the next generation of riders at the Mandalika circuit in Indonesia, which has become a magnet on the global racing calendar thanks to its MotoGP status. The VR46 Riders Academy held a private training session using road-going motorcycles. A full academy delegation, including several young talents and current MotoGP riders, gathered to take advantage of track conditions and climate similar to highly demanding circuits such as Sepang. The training event was scheduled to take place between 27 and the 30th of January, with Rossi himself rumored to be participating alongside his protégés. A rare opportunity that not only offers significant promotional value for major sponsors such as Indonesia's Pertamina Lubricants, but also sends a strong signal of Rossi's commitment to talent regeneration. A total of 9 riders, including Francesco Bagnaia, Ducati, Marco Bezzecchi, Aprilia, Luca Marini, Honda, Franco Morbidelli, Fabio Di Gianantonio, VR46 Racing, as well as talents such as Celestino Vietti and Matteo Gabarini, were set to use production-based sport motorcycles during the Mandalika sessions. Rossi, riding his new Yamaha R1 after renewing his global ambassador agreement with Yamaha, was expected to be the center of attention, demonstrating that this legendary figure is not only a strategic voice in the paddock, but also a hands-on technical mentor and genuine motivator for emerging stars. This activity has become an annual tradition for the VR46 Academy, as it not only introduces young riders to the rhythm of demanding circuits, but also helps them adapt to the realities of professional racing outside Europe. With Mandalika's climate closely resembling that of Sepang, the riders gain crucial experience in understanding how motorcycles behave under high temperatures and humidity, factors that are essential for a successful campaign across the global MotoGP calendar. All of this reflects Valentino Rossi's long-term mindset, building not just a championship-winning team, but an ecosystem capable of producing and developing talent that is not only fast but mentally and technically prepared for an increasingly intense global competition, the post-veteran future, including that of Marc Marquez himself, who remains a major draw at Ducati and is still the subject of long-term contract discussions, provides a dramatic backdrop to Rossi's ambition to shape a new era of MotoGP riders. This story is not merely about who will replace whom or which engine will dominate. It is also about how a legend like Rossi combines experience, vision, and a global network to forge a new generation of stars capable of challenging today's biggest names. From the turbulent 2027 contract market to training sessions in Mandalika involving rookies and veterans alike, the picture of MotoGP's future is slowly being drawn. And if Valentino Rossi has the final say, it will not only be about winning races, but about winning a place in the sport's historical timeline itself.